Hello and welcome then. It's lovely to see you here today. So for anyone that hasn't heard you before, how would you describe yourself, your singing style, your songs? Could you tell me a bit about that?
Um, I would just describe I guess my songs and my music is just quite honest and outspoken, and just, a bit bullshit. People might get a bit, offended by it sometimes, but it's my truth. So you have to hurt some people's feelings sometimes in the process.
Always
And
put
I
yourself
think
first.
I think it's just who I am in the forms of a song, really. And it's nice to be able to kind of have that outlet,
Yeah.
'cause I'm not very good at like talking. I'm much better at putting it into a song. So
Mm. Do you have you always enjoyed singing, performing, or is it something that you've just sort of recently started doing?
yeah, I was one of those really annoying kids who was always just like wanting attention and singing in all the assemblies. And like at every family gathering, I was like, gather round everyone, I've written a play and I'm going to perform for you. And so,
Brilliant.
I probably got on everybody's nerves. But yeah, it's definitely always something that it's just something that I've always loved. And I didn't really know how I would carry that through into my adult life, but I just knew that I always kind of had this like weird infinity with it.
Mm. So would you say growing up, who was sort of your greatest influences? Who influences you the most now in terms of music?
I
Anyone in your family?
think growing up, I was obsessed with Florence and the Machine. I loved her,
Yep.
and I used to listen to her album Lungs and like cry because I was like 13 and I thought I was like in love, and I was just like I put her song Cosmic Love on, and I would literally be like, oh my god, I'm so heartbroken.
This is just about
And
me. Yeah.
I know, exactly. And I just thought like she's such a visual artist, and even though her music is quite like different to
Mm.
the music that I make, I like to think that when you listen to my songs that you can see it and kind of feel it. And I think when I listen to Florence, you really like you could just see everything that she was saying. And that's always been such a sort of important thing for me.
So do you think sort of relatability is quite an important thing for your songs?
Yeah, I mean, I always say that I write music that I wish I could have listened to when I was growing up, when I was 15. And I think you can probably agree, like being a teenage girl is like so traumatic.
It's a tough
And
time. It's a tough
it's,
time.
it's tough. It's tough. So I think it's like really important that people can relate to my music, and when they put it on, they might not feel so alone, or feel like they can get through things that might be hard to get through when you can't talk to anyone. Um, so yeah, for sure, it has to be relatable. Like I'm not that bothered about, everyone's like, what genre are you? Like what kind of like what style of music are you? And I'm like, I just want people to feel what I'm saying and to
Yeah.
enjoy it and to not feel so alone in this world. So whatever genre that is, that's what I am.
Well, I would say that's sort of like the most accessible genre because, like you were saying, everyone sort of has similar experiences growing up, especially if you're a girl. We all have these shared ideas and problems, and boy problems or girl problems. And I think that's brilliant that your music sort of encapsulates that, but also you giving your own spin on it. It's not there just to be sold. It's there because that is how you felt, and that's something I really got from your music, and I really enjoyed that. That's all right. What's your process for when you're writing a song or when you're thinking of it? How do you sort of go about that?
It's different every single time, really. I think it depends what mood I'm in. It depends on what's happening in my life. Like sometimes I'll literally like look at something, and it will kind of something will go off
Yeah.
in my head. Like an example is I have an unreleased song, and it's called Jacket Back, and I got the idea because I was lying in bed, and I have a rail next to my bed, and I was just looking at it, and then I have like one of my ex-boyfriend's jackets like still on the rail, and I was like, I should probably give that back at some point.
Mm.
And then I was just like, that might be quite a cool like concept to write about. So I had a session like the next day, and on the train I was kind of thinking about different ways I could say it.
Mm.
And then so I got there and literally just sort of brainstormed that idea, and then we came up with this cool idea. I won't give too much away because I want it to come out at some point.
Yeah.
But
Brilliant.
but then sometimes I don't have any idea, and sometimes I just get there, and most of my songs, you know, come through the conversations that I have with the producers and the writers in the room. Like both of my, like, Anticlimax and So Annoying, like those two titles were excuse me, those two titles were literally from having conversations beforehand.
Really?
Like yeah, so I think just by talking and being open, like there's so much kind of magic in that, and that's why I think it's always good to like get to know the people that you're working with as well, because they might say something and you might be like, oh,
like a chain reaction kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh no, I really like that. That's really cool.
Cool.
So would you say as well then, for your songs, do you try to give them all sort of like a feminist sort of perspective? So this idea of, you know, the woman, you know, very self-sufficient, girl power, all this.
I just think being a girl and being a woman, I just think automatically, like, we've all faced different kind of problems, and we've faced the same kind of pressures, and I just feel like it's only natural for me to kind of write about my personal experiences, and I think a lot of those experiences we all have in common. So I think you know, I guess I do have it in mind, but also it's just like what I've been through, and others can just relate to it.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I'm like, you know, I think nowadays especially there's like a lot of pressure on girls to be this like sassy, strong, like bad bitch person all the time, because like that's kind of what we all strive to be and what we're told like what we're meant to be, which is obviously great, but also like it's okay to not feel like that all the time. And like I have my down days just like everybody else, and some days I'm like, I feel like rubbish, like I don't feel like a bad bee today, like I want to write some sad stuff because I've been going through it. So I think it's just about being honest with yourself and knowing that, you know, not every day is going to be like a bad bitch day. But I think so it's just, yeah, it's just being honest, I think, is the main thing.
No, I love that. So I read in one of your interviews, I think it was with Atwood Magazine, that you actually shot the video for I Don't Want Your Money at home. Was that correct? And if you did, how did you find it?
Yes, so that was during lockdown.
Yeah.
And my label called me and they were like, we need to shoot, like, you need to shoot a video, like, you know, we have to figure it out, like. And I literally had like a bit of a meltdown, and I was like, I can't do this, like, I'm not meant to do this. But I just think it was one of those moments where I was just like so unsure, and I felt so like insecure about everything, and I was just like, I didn't ask for this, man, like, I don't know, I just know how to write songs, like, I don't know how to direct or you whatever.
Oh god.
But it actually was really a lot of fun, and I literally just used my iPhone, and my dad has I know, my dad has a room, like the room that I was staying in at my dad's house has, like, just so happens to have a green wall, which is the perfect color for a green screen. So I definitely used that to my advantage, and I was propping my phone up on like Easter egg boxes and all this crazy stuff. And then actually what came out, I really loved it, and I thought it was actually, I think it's one of my favorite videos actually, because it's so of that time.
Exactly.
And you know, I came out and with something great when I thought I wouldn't be able to. So it was definitely like a confidence booster in the end.
Yeah, of course. So would you have any tips then for sort of trying to do a music video at home? There's lots of our members of XTV who are very interested in making music videos, but at home or at uni there's less equipment that's available. So in terms of filming with your phone, was there anything you used specifically, or just your iPhone camera?
I think, yeah, just my iPhone camera. Like I put it on, obviously I had like the technical, like there was like a special setting where it was like I shot it all in 4K. Okay. So obviously you want the highest quality, but I think the main thing is just to like not freak out and just to like not force yourself to do it when you're feeling like. There were some days when I was like, I had all this stuff planned, and I was like, I'm going to shoot this, I'm going to come up with this idea, but then like if you're not feeling it, then like don't force it, and then it will like come naturally, and because it should be a fun thing to do. So I would just say, just have have fun with it, and like you're in your own personal space, so you can be like exactly whoever you want to be, which was fun as well. And you can get creative, like.
Exactly. Well, I loved it. I think I agree with you. It's probably my favorite video, probably, that I've seen in a long time. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun to see sort of your own personal spin on how you sort of saw lockdown, sort of accepted it, but still persevered and went through and was creative. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really good.
People seem to enjoy that I used like a Wii driving wheel as like a steering wheel. I was just like, what looks like a wheel? All right then. And then everyone was like, what the hell is she doing? I was like, what do you want me to do? Like, I have to be creative here. I've got to be resourceful.
Exactly. Resourcefulness, that's it. And you performed. It was brilliant. So moving on then, I read as well that you've done quite a lot of live shows. What was your favourite live show that you've ever done, and your favourite live show that you've ever gone to?
Oh, that's a good question. I think obviously one of my favourite shows that I've ever done was Heaven in London, because London obviously is my hometown. Like, I've lived here all my life. So to have like such a packed room, it was the biggest headline show I've ever had. It was like over 1,000 people there. And like my friends and family were there, and it was just like the energy I felt in that room. It was just, and especially, I just couldn't, like, I have no words still. I'm like so flabbergasted by the whole thing. And now, especially because I can't be in a room now with like more than 3 people or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, I look back on those videos and I'm like, oh my goodness. So yeah, that was definitely such a special moment for me. And then favorite show I've been to, I've been to quite a lot of gigs actually. I remember my dad took me to a Prince concert when I was a bit younger. Wow. I know, my dad is such a huge Prince fan. My dad's seen him like 15 times.
Wow.
Yeah, like proper like a fangirl he is. I think that was really important for him to like take me and, you know, see his kind of hero. And I was quite young, and all I can remember is he had these 2 like dancers with him. I think they might have been twins, and they were just amazing. And I was sort of just looking at the dancers the whole time because they were just so, they kind of elevated Prince, and they were just like so sassy, and like I was just, wow, like, oh my god, the whole show was just so amazing. So that was definitely a highlight. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Do you think sort of this sort of your influence of your dad and your parents, do you think that sort of going to all these shows and sharing their love of music with you, do you think that influenced you quite a lot early on?
I think so, definitely. I think with my mum and my dad, they're both such like avid music lovers, and my grandparents used to live in Wales, and so we would, you know, drive up to see them, and it would take about 4 to 5 hours each time. So my mum we'd always put on like music, and that would be what would make the journey kind of bearable. And like, my mum would put on like Sade, like the Dixie Chicks, Simon Garfunkel, so like such a variety of music. But I think all those 3 people have in common is like the storytelling and the songwriting is so, you know, amazing and distinctive, and like, you know, I'd be looking out the window pretending I was in a music video. But I just remember listening to that music, and I just felt so like at peace while listening to it. And I felt like that from very young. I always felt like I listened to music in like a different way. It was really weird. Like whenever someone would talk over, I would literally be like, shh, like I just want to listen. Like I don't want to talk. I don't want to speak over it. Like I just want to hear it. And so yeah, looking back, maybe that was not normal. I don't know. But yeah, definitely, you know, being around like my family members that just love music just as much as me definitely kind of opened my eyes to that world being, you know, you can do that sort of stuff.
So now let's start talking about your EP. So I saw on your Instagram that it's coming out soon. That's so exciting. Tell me a little bit about it.
Like in like 11 days or something stupid nuts.
It's crazy. Well done for still being able to do it in such a sort of like scary time, you know?
Thanks.
So
yeah.
What is it? what's it about then? Is there a narrative it says, or are they're all sort of thematic?
I mean, I think so. The songs are kind of over a span of like 2 years. So they really tap into different times in my life, and I think it's the first time that I'm showing like a real like well-rounded version of myself, and I'm showing different sides to me, more of a more vulnerable side. And I think that's really, really important, because you know, being that sassy person that doesn't take any shit, like that's great, but that's just like a part of me, and I've got a lot of other things to say. Yeah, I just think it's really important to show those like different sides, and I think, you know, my audience deserve to see that. And I think it's the first time where I'm just like, this is 100% like what I want to say, the music I want to make, just from like the producers that I'm working with and the writers, like they're all so talented. So I think it was just such a great like collaboration, and I just can't wait for it to be out. I'm so excited.
What's your favorite song on the EP then?
Oh, I don't know. I did a song with Kenny Beats, who is like one of my favorite producers ever, and I watch his YouTube series, The Cave, like religiously. So then I was in the room with him, and I was like, oh God, don't thank God. But it was just me and him in the room, and I love the song so much. And I've not written a song like that before, and it's me being a little bit more, what's the word? It's about me kind of like falling in love, and you know, being a bit surprised by it, but I'm kind of enjoying it. And usually I'm like, I hate you, but this time it's like, oh, this is quite nice, like I'm kind of enjoying this. And he brought it out of me. It was fun. But yeah, I can't wait to hear that one.
Yeah, well, I'm very excited to hear it all. And thank you very much for this interview today. That's been very, very lovely. We can wrap it up now, because I can see already we've gone over it. It's just, you're just too interesting to ask a few questions to.
Oh, that's very sweet. You don't mean that.
But yes, thank you very much. And yeah, we look forward to hearing your EP very soon.
Thank you. I can't wait for you to hear it.
Yeah. Yay. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.